What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a Freecad live session here. I don't know what happened. I just started this thing and it was I don't know, and just lagged out. Like everything was going good and it lagged out. So I shut down my streaming program and started it again. But anyways, here we go. So we're just gonna do a new file. Um, this is gonna be airbag trailer suspension possibly. We're gonna do a new body and a new sketch. And the first thing we're gonna make is just the the actual frame. Wonder how are we gonna do that? As far as the planes go, so I'll just create a body and create a sketch. And I'm gonna look at this because, like, if I put I'm thinking about this as I go. I guess we'll just do the XY still, because the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna create the actual trailer frame, and we're just gonna pretend that it's boxed for ease of making it. We'll just do it. We'll grab a square tool here, and this is gonna be in millimeters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that millimeters are inches. So 1 millimeter is 1 inch as I go through this whole thing, and I have no plans. So we're gonna do this from the top. I got a calculator here. I'm just gonna do it like with no, just off the top of my head. So my thing is 7 feet. I think it's 7 feet by 7 feet is what my trailer is. So if we go 7 times 12, we get 84. So we're gonna make this 84 by 84 about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if my trailer is actually this big. This is my guesstimate. Okay, so there's our inside. So if we make this, I think this is about a 2 inch C channel is what the outside is built out of. And so, but we're just going to, for this purposes, we don't need to actually program in the C channel. So I'm just going to do a 2 inch border there. So that would make this 82, right? Then this one would be 82. Okay. So that's 2 millimeters, but we're doing it. So, and then these two, I don't know if I can make them. I can do from this point to here, maybe. I can do 2 millimeters, right? Oh, you know what? This actually needs to be 80 because it's got to be 2 millimeters on each side. So 80 millimeters. So now it's 2 millimeters here and 2 millimeters here. And then same thing from here to here. We need to make that 2 millimeters. Okay, so now we're set there on just our general box. We'll say. If that makes any sense. And then basically what I have is I have a few cross members. I want to say there's like 3, but I could be wrong. Let's grab a line tool. I don't know if this is going to be able to do this or not, but if I put a line from there to there, because how is it going to know? It's not going to be able to really know which lines is which. Let's put I don't know if I can. Let's try to center these two. Okay, I can't do that. Try to do it like this with some dots. Okay, that didn't work either. Can I do it with a line and 2 dots? Okay, that worked. There we go. So now we're centered that way. Now can we center it this way? All right, so fully constrained. So let's close that, and then we have that shape. So if we pad that up 2 millimeters, 2. So now we have, basically this is going to be the beginnings of our square. It looks like it's not straight, but it is. Okay, so that's going to be our base frame. Okay, so let's go back to the model here. And we're going to make a new sketch, and this time what we're going to do is put in some cross members. We're going to need these to attach the suspension to, I think. More than 3. I know there's like a big open section in the front. Maybe they're off-centered, because there's a big open section in the front. That's where I'm dropping my black tank down in. And I don't know if I cut one out or not. I'm actually not sure this even matters for this demonstration, but we'll move this one down and then we'll put one like, I don't know, because if we put the wheels right in the center, which seems to be about where they are, I don't know if that's good or not, but that's where it is. So let's move this one. Something like that. Okay, so we'll do something like that. We'll basically make these 82 or 80 inches. So let's go back to the model and go to the pad and push spacebar to mute it. Then we'll go back to this thing here and we'll go, this line will be 80 millimeters. Okay, oops, not 50, 80. All right, and we're just going to use the same method and to center it here with that, and then we want this line to be 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters, okay, and then we'll worry about our distances in a minute. So this one again, it's going to be 80. And then this one is going to be 2. Okay, and again, 80. We could have just like made all these equal each other. And 2. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's put in a geometry line. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Geometry line. Give us an idea. We want it to be 84 millimeters and centered out. Okay, so this is going to give us an idea of where our edges actually are. You know, so if we take 84 and we divide it into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Well, what is half of 84? It'd be 42. So this is 42. So from 42 to the back, if we did 2.5 sections, well, I don't know. If we want to put, like, I don't know how far apart these are. They're probably about 2 feet apart, we'll say. So 24 inches. So if we did 12 inches off of the center line, let's do that. Okay, so from that to that would be 12 millimeters. And then this to this we'll say is 12 millimeters. And then I need to center these. So from that to that to that is centered. And then this one. So the only ones that are crucial, really, I mean, really, this one isn't even necessary. The only ones that are crucial are going to be this one and this one, because those are where we're going to actually attach our suspension to, I think. I don't know if I'm going to go over the airbag. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to put the airbag under the axle or under this. We're going to look at it and see where we want to put it. I've been looking at designs and they're putting the airbags right under the suspension. So basically, I don't know if, I don't know what we should do about that. Let's give this a value. So from there to there, let's do 24 millimeters to keep it somewhat even. Okay, so we still have one. So the only thing that's not constrained is the geometry line, which doesn't matter anyways. So let's push close on that. Let's go back. We'll go back to the pad and turn that back on. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of how I think it's set up right now. It's something like this. There's in this middle area. Oh wait. Actually, I don't know if the suspension goes to this because there is actual frame rails. We need to make those too. Okay, so anyways, this middle area here is like, this is where the black tank is going to go. The two boxes that I've built basically go over this for the room, the bathroom that goes here, and then the e-bikes will be back here with the tools and everything else. Okay, so let's pad these out to 2 inches so that they match everything else. 2 millimeters. Okay, so basically this is what I have so far. Is the trailer frame is something like this. So now what we need to do is we need to do a negative pad underneath this for the actual trailer frame itself. Okay, so let's do that. Create another sketch on the XY. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to do a polyline. So let's get rid of the construction geometry. Grab a polyline. Okay, so we're going to just pretend that our suspension goes something like, our trailer frame goes something like this. So up to there, and then we come up here somewhere, and then basically, going to be more C channel that runs into itself up there, something like this. Okay, so it's something like that. Let's mute all that. And so this needs to equals, or these two need to equal each other. Okay. Really, all of these should equal each other. This and this should equal each other. This and this should equal each other. And these two should equal each other. Okay, so that's going to keep hopefully everything somewhat the same there. This is probably, I'm going to guess like a 4-inch distance there. Okay, so now let's make these just centered on that. I think that should center pretty much everything. Let's give this a length. let's say it's 60 millimeters. I don't know what it would actually be, but this, so those four should all be 60, right? Because they all equal each other. So how does this work? Is this one? Maybe this one needs to be vertical or horizontal. Yeah, so now when I move it, it moves all of them. Same thing with this. How come this is, why is this able to move? It doesn't equal the same length as that one. Okay, there we go. I don't know what I had it equaled as. Wide. I don't know how far in it goes. Let's say it goes in, if it goes in a foot, then that would be 24 inches on each side. So we would have 60 inches from the middle. So if this to here, this length is, no, it'd be 30, right? Because we'd have 60 left. So 30 millimeters from that length to that length. Okay, so we're a 4 millimeter width there. So now what do we have? We have these lengths up here because we don't know about where they are. Let's put this back. Oops. I don't know what happened. What did I do? And how come the spacebar doesn't work anymore? Let's see. Because now I can't. I don't know. I like pushed V or something, and now I can't make these visible again. There's always like some weird thing that happens while I'm trying to live Freecad. Last time something weird like this happened too. I don't know why. This is 84. This is 42. So if we go, yeah, let's meet that again. So if this to here equals 42. Okay. I swear you used to be able to use that button for this type of constraint, but no, that's not what I want. So I have to do negative 42. That's why. Okay, so now what do we have that's out of whack? Like we want the distance from here to here to be 2 inches. Can we do that? Not really easy without a dot. Can we do from there to there? Can that be, oh, we want it to be 4 inches. Okay, we can't do that. Like, I don't know exactly how to constrain that, but let's just do this. From here to here is, let's just say 57. Okay, so that makes that a little bit messed up. So maybe we should make it 56. 58. I mean, this isn't going to be exactly right because obviously up here there's like a some other stuff going on. So, okay, but it's something like that. Okay, so then let's put this back on here. Okay. So I think that's it's gonna be it's close enough. What we're gonna be dealing with is, I actually wonder though if these turn way up here more. No, they don't. On this trailer they don't. And this is a homemade deal. I don't think that the dude whoever built this, I don't think they bought it from like Lowe's or something like that. So I'm gonna say this is the way it is, but it's good enough because what we're gonna be dealing with is from here to here. Okay, so let's just close that sketch. Okay, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is pad that, and we're going to pad it like minus 6 millimeters. See if it will do that. Why won't it let me do that? It will do 6 millimeters and push reversed, I guess. Okay. I gotta go get some water. I'll be right back. All right, so now we have our basic trailer frame. So let's see what we want to do here. So I guess we'll still just go off the XY, and well, no, we have to go off the side. What we're going to do, well, no, we can go off the XY. So there's basically like two types of designs that I'm looking at. There's like a ladder frame type thing that I've kind of seen, and then there's like a A-frame design. So I think for the A-frame, we would have to go off of both sides, or two axis, and make two different sketches. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to make another body inside the same file here. So we have body one, okay, that we just did, right? And we're going to rename this to trailer frame. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to try a couple different designs here, and what I'm also thinking is that I'm going to 3D print these kind of separately, um, which I don't have any way of attaching the suspension to this. But if I 3D print these, I'll come back and an attachment point to this, I guess, because basically what I need is some sort of brackets coming down off of this to bolt the suspension to. But what my thoughts are is what I want to do is create a model here where I can print different length suspension parts and kind of see what I want to do with the airbags and what length I want them to be to. And then what I'll do is if I do this, because I don't even know if I'm going to build this into my trailer or not, but if I do, then I'll kind of test and figure out which ones work the best, for this. So let's go into our second body here. And let's start off with the ladder frame going this way. So for those, I'm gonna do it on this other axis. So not the XY, but the other one. So let's start with that. So it's gonna be on the YZ plane. Okay, so this is gonna be, I basically need to make two. Well, I only need to make one. We'll just make one on one side because all we have to do for the other side is just reverse it. Well, and for this, I don't think that for this style, if we do the ladder style, it won't matter. We could do either part, right? So basically, they wouldn't matter. They wouldn't be side to side, so to speak. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to come off of the bottom of this and build us like so we need a pivot point. And that's the other thing I forgot to look at is I don't know if it pivots this way or if it matters. So let's just grab a draw tool here and we'll start to draw. So up here we'll have let's pivot from the front first going back. Okay, so around here somewhere will be a circle. And then basically we'll have this go like this. And it'll come back to, well, I guess the axle would be here. Let's start up more. We put a line here. We go to the axle, which is here. And then basically the airbag would be here. I'm trying to think of how to draw this exactly so that, because what I'm thinking is it's like, there's going to be like a round plate here. And I don't know how to draw that without going to the other plane. I'm probably going to have to go to the other plane to make that. And so I need to think about, I guess basically what I need to do is, let's delete that. Let's work in squares because what I'm going to do is make square tubing. Okay, so it's going to be a square tube. It's going to have to be some sort of square tube that goes over the axle. So let's put in an axle. Okay, that's our axle. Okay, let's say that it's 2 inches. So 1 inch radius. Okay, so this will be our axle. Actually, let's just make that. So let's say that our axle is going to be on this line. Okay. So this one. Okay, and then the distance away from the line is going to be what? I don't know. I don't know about how far away that is. But for now, let's just say it's 15 inches. Okay, so we'll close that. So that's going to be our axle. So let's pad that out to what? How wide? The tray that was 84 inch was 84 wide. Let's say it's like 76 millimeters wide or something like that. Okay. So it's starting from the middle. So if it's 76 millimeters, we need to make it, let's see, 38 from the middle. So we need to actually change our attachment point to, I think, minus 38. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. I need this one. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that looks centered, right? And then we just imagine that there's tires right here, right? I don't think I'm going to draw the tires, but we'll just imagine. Okay, so now I wonder if we should make another body so that we're not drawing off of the axle. Because the axle is going to need to be there in both. In both designs, but I'm also thinking that I'm just going to make both designs off of, the same. Well, I guess I can't do that. But I have to make two different bodies. But we could just put one design on one side and the other design on the other side. And then, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because it's like the A-arm style, I'm going to have to draw from the top up, maybe, and from the side. So everything's going to have to be located in that way because there's going to be round parts that go sideways. Like you're going to have a pipe on one side for the pivot point. And, yeah. And then the square tubing, you're probably going to have to draw from the other side, like on the A-arm. So let's do the ladder style first. Let's just do a new sketch here, see what happens. And then we'll do it on the XZ again. Okay, so now we're going to put in our square tube, which there will be a circle here, okay, that's going to attach to the, like whatever bracketing comes down off of this, and it might even be might be bracketing with a hole in it, right? But for this purposes, we're just going to do a circle that's about there, because this will be, if there's a bracket that comes down here like this, it'll be on the frame, and this will be the part that goes into that bracket, like for the bushing, and the bushing would be in here. So basically it would be a pipe like that, and coming off of that we would have, some lines like this. That would more or less come off of that like that. So let's do that again. Let's get the polyline. And it didn't attach. I want it to attach. Maybe it did. I don't know. Okay, so, and basically it would come down over the axle and attach to the axle with like U-bolts, right? And then it would come up and it would go back. Okay. So it'd be basically something like that. Okay, it did attach. And so we want to delete this line in here. And I got to remember how to do that. I think it's with this tool right here. Maybe it's this tool. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this tool right here, trim edge. then we can just delete that line from there, okay? Because this is basically what we want, is something like this. This will be in a bracket, and a bolt will go right where that dot is. So this is able to pivot upward, like this. And the airbag goes right here in this situation. Basically, when you dump the airbag, all of this goes up. So the tire tucks up into the frame rail, and you gain this much suspension loss in the whole trailer. So then the whole trailer, when it dumps, it just sits on the ground and the tire goes up into there. Or, maybe not completely flat, but a lot lower. With this type of setup, what I can do is I can just get to camp and dump the tanks, and then the trailer just goes down and sits on the ground. And then when you're using the bathroom or whatever, it's not all ski wampus and everything. It does have stabilizers on it right now, but with this type of setup, I wouldn't need those. I could just, some of them are kind of jacked up. They need to be fixed. And if I did this, then I wouldn't have to, but we'll see. Because this does add whole another level of complication as far as airbags and air compressor system, which is good to have anyways. If then I can take air tools with me to work on stuff. Okay, so basically there we are with that. So with this type of design, though, you would have your square tube like that, but then there's going to be more to it, because I don't know that that's going to be strong enough. And so my thought process is that we would have that, but then we would have like this come up, and we would do kind of like ladders across it. I'm thinking right now, yeah, we should be able to do this. So if we have this come up to here, and then it would actually go to there like that. And then what we would have is we would have like this go down to here. Okay. And then this go down to here like this. So this is like a ladder bar, I'm thinking. And then this would actually go like this. And I mean, I don't know if it would be exactly like this, but it would be something like this. And we're going to have to figure out how to make this work so we can pad it out in a minute. Because, really where we need the strength is up and down, at least I think. All the weight of the trailer is sitting on this situation. And so if we just had a bar here, I think we would get bending between here and here. So the strength in this direction rather than in deep, the up and down of this rather than the deepness, I think is where you need the strength. And I mean, we could do both, I guess. I guess we could do a ladder bar and an A-frame. So the A-frame would be wider, this might be overbuilt. I don't know. Might just have to like sandwich two. But I don't know what material or what thickness of material I would use either. But let's grab this, was it this one? No, this one. Trim edge tool again. And we need to delete all of these. Let's see. Not that one. So we need to go, like this would be a pipe. I don't know how good of a time it's going to have billeting this. Because, let's see. How is it going to know to leave this one? And this doesn't have to be exact either. Let's just do, because let's just say that this is going to be, it's going to be designed something like this. Because the problem is that I don't know if it's going to be able to if it's gonna know where to make solid and where to not. Okay, so let's say that if we close this the way it is now, am I gonna get an error when I try to pad? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. So let's cancel that and go back into here. Because it needs to know what is the inside and what is the outside. So it might not be able to do this at all. I might have to go in and individually do all of these. Let's try to get rid of these. Let's try to get rid of this one. And let's see what happens now. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do this differently. We know about the shape that we want now. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually delete these lines. We're just going to make it have an inside and an outside. If that makes any sense. So I don't know if I can remove these dots. Just remove this line and this line. And we'll make this line and that line, or those two dots, the same. Except we'll pull that back down. Okay, so it'll be something like this. And we could even, keep it with a similar angle of this. And then U-bolts will somehow go around this onto, this letter, this bar here. So what we'll do is we're just going to pad this, and then on the next one, we'll come in and take out our ladder. And the idea being here that we're going to have to constrain this so that we have 2-inch. I think, if we use like 2-inch square tube for all this, or 1-inch square tube, or whatever, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so now we should be able to pad that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to yet, though. I might want to make another sketch first. Let's try to figure out a way to, like, maybe we should make these parallel. So basically, okay, can I even do that? Because it's like, this is going to be too big if they're parallel. This needs to be bigger at the end. So let's undo that. Okay, so we don't want to be parallel, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how to make this math work. Let's make this one straight up and down. That's what we'll do. And then what we'll do is we will put I don't know. If we make this 2 inches, so basically the bars just meet here, I think this thing would be too big. So it would need to be more like what? What if this is like 2 inches? Can we radius this? Okay, let's radius that to 1. Okay, so that's going to be about a 2-inch pipe there, we'll say. Okay, so then the distance from here, this line to this line, would need to be, let's say that it looks more like this. Okay, where it's two pipes. So from here to here, we would want to be about 2 inches, I would think. Right? So it would be, the two pipes would meet, and wherever they met this bushing is where they would meet it. Now this bushing will need to be in the real thing. It will need to be a full circle, but for making this is how we're going to do it, because it's not going to be able to compute. It's not going to be able to know what's the inside and what's the outside of this. I think this is just a problem with Freecad, but there might be other programs, or I might be doing it wrong. I don't know, but this is the way I'm going to make it work. And then we're just going to imagine that there's a split here, and then this one goes to here, and this one goes to here. Okay, so then we're going to set up this line to be 6 millimeters, or 6 inches, we'll say. So this is, and so basically in here, we will shorten based off of that. So when I make the new one, I'm going to make this line, 2 millimeters? So maybe we better make this one bigger. Let's make it 10 millimeters, or 10 inches. Okay. Let's do 8. Okay, so what we're going to imagine then, yeah, 8's pretty good. What we're going to imagine is that inside this box, we're going to make another deal. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go mute this one. Oh, no. Not that one. We're going to mute this one. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to constrain from here to here a certain amount. Oh, from this dot to here. Okay, so let's do 7 millimeters. Okay, so on the new one, we're going to do 9 millimeters. And then that's going to give us a starting point of this line here. And can we make this vertical? How bad does that screw us? We put this back on. Yeah, so it can't be vertical to sort of to make this line up with that. But I guess what we can do is we can do this from here to here. We can constrain. We do minus 6.5. So basically what that gives us is a 1/2 inch difference on this bar that we can then take to the other drawing that we have there. Can we constrain some more of this stuff? So this dot to this dot, maybe from here to here. What are we going to be at? Why can't I go from here to here on a length? There we go. So if we need this to be 12. No. We need, let's cancel that. The middle of this to here, we need to be 12. Because this is actually where we think no, wait, actually we don't, because we're not running on that. Never mind. Edit undo. Because I forgot that we added in frame rails, because I was thinking we were going to go to the top frame, but we're not. We're going to the bottom frame. So let's go from here to here and be 15 millimeters. Okay. So that constrains that. Just out of curiosity, what is it from there to there? 14.14. Let's actually delete this constraint. And let's go from here to here because that's the one that we're going to need on our. We can't do that. Let's do 14 millimeters from there to there. Oh wait, we need more because our model moved. We need this to go back, so we do like 18, 16. What happened? Okay, there we go. Gotta rock this thing back over here. Okay, let's try 15. A little bit closer. I mean, basically all we need is we need to be able to pad this out for our ladder frame there. So, I mean, I don't know that I need to constrain all of this exactly, but maybe I do. So, and the other thing too is that in the real one, this is going to have to be a full circle. Like whether that's notched out of these tubes or not, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly exact. Just trying to get an idea down here. So let's just, I don't know what else needs to be constrained. Maybe from here to here. Do we have to do one from here to here? Nope. Because now we have one. So from here to here, probably. Okay. So now we're fully constrained. So if we remember, we have 7 millimeters down. This line is 8 millimeters. So what we need to do is make one in here that's 9 millimeters down, and then from here to here is 6 millimeters, and then somehow match this other side, which is half an inch shorter, hopefully on all of it. So let's close that, and then so basically that's what we're looking at there. Something like that. We will move it over before we pad it. Or do we have to pad it now? Let's pad it. Oh, why can't I pad it now? Did I click the wrong thing? I mean, it should be able to. I don't know what's going on with the screen there. I don't see any reason why it can't be. Did I miss a line? That's not a line, is it? That's the... I don't know why I can't pad that. I don't see any issue. I don't see any reason why I can't, but it won't let me. Like, is there... Maybe something is open. See, so like maybe one of these lines didn't connect. Okay, that one's definitely on it, and that one's definitely on it. I can do these two dots. See that? Those two might not have been connected. Maybe that was the issue all along. I don't know. No, it still won't pad. Like I think those are connected because it's not letting me move them. Yeah, sometimes dealing with this program is fun because it just like does this. Oh, look, these two aren't connected. Oh, wait, is there a line there? Yeah, there's a line there. But I don't know why that moved and why it won't move back now. I mean, it looks like everything's connected, so I don't get it. Do I just start over? I mean, it's like, why shouldn't it be able to do this? I think it should be able to. Maybe I did too many like weird things. I didn't like maybe I have to do a polyline or something. I don't know. Let's just start over with like a now that we kind of know what we want. Can you pad that? Can't even pad that. Like why can't you pad that? Just delete that whole sketch. Start a new sketch. On that plane, polyline. I mean, it seems like that should be pretty easy to do, right? Can't even pad that. Why? This makes no sense. Um, let's just save it, I guess, and delete is here. All right, let's see if we go. We open it now. Hmm. Well, I don't get it. So, I mean, can I only do okay, to let me pocket. There's some issue with this. It does have like a little cross thing on it or something. I don't see. Do I need to like not have that? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all why this won't pad out like it should. Even if it was running into something, you would think it would be able to. Just says recompute failed. Please check report view. It doesn't say why. It doesn't make any sense. You know, at first I thought it was because of the where the holes were, but I have no explanation here. It's like, what if I put it below this? Then what does it do? Close. Still won't pad out. There's no reason. Am I like on the wrong? Well, this one worked. And it should be on the same thing. It's on the YZ plane. What is this one on? It's also on the YZ plane. Like if I go to the sketch and I drew a square, yeah, then it errors out because it's already padded. You can't re-pad it. Should I make a new body and a new sketch? Now I can pad it. Okay. So, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this program works all the time. So we know that this was going to be 8 millimeters. Let's just not do the little circle guy up there. And let's see something. If I do the ladder frame in here, will it be able to figure this out? Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. Why I can't have that in the same body or what, but whatever. So basically, it's going to be something like that. That's the idea. And so we're going to have it be 1 millimeter, I think, which would be 1 inch. I mean, maybe it should be 2 inches. I don't know. But, basically, though, I guess the other issue with this is this first part. We don't want it. We actually don't want it in that shape. Because the airbag has to sit right here. So what we want to do is have, actually we don't want that. Just delete that. Let's close this. We need to unpad it. So Control Z. Okay, so now there's no pad. Okay. Because we want, what we actually want is this, like this. And then, let's see, let's move that in there and then this like this. But then we need this to kind of be flat because it's going to go up kind of flat against this frame rail here. And the bag sits in here. So however tall the bag is, on this design, the bag sits in here. So what we could do if we need to, if this isn't enough room, then we move this lever down a little bit and we put the bag back here. And this is kind of part of what we need to test. What I need to test is whether the bag should go here or whether it should go right above the axle. A lot of designs are that it is right above the axle. So we need that to go to there. And then we need this to go to here, like this. And then basically we need to take this tool and delete these. Okay, let's see if that pads. I don't know if it will. This one, let's make this one. Just make these lines level here. I know I'm not constraining it out. Okay, so there we go. So that's basically what we want, is something like that. You know, and it doesn't really matter for this purposes what these actually are, whether that's actually an inch or not, because we're just trying to make this, trying to get the idea. So that's going to be 2 millimeters. And then it will somehow, you know, we need a pipe here that attaches to that, and then some brackets that come down off of that. Okay, so how big are these airbags, I wonder? Yeah, so I don't know how big. I don't have any airbags picked out, you know. It seems like the last one that I had were like 6 to 8 inches tall, which is, I would probably get something similar to that. So basically, when they're inflated, like from here to here would be about 6 inches or so. And then when they're deflated, all of this goes up against that. So you could lose 6 inches there, which I don't know if that's enough to really lay it on the ground with this type of setup. Whereas if we do the other type of setup, so let's reposition this out to about where it would be here, and maybe we'll go in and mess with it later. So if it's going to come out, like, I don't know, about, I can't remember the numbers now. It's been too long, but yeah, so we probably want it to be, try like 36. Okay, so, you know, it wouldn't be out that far, but basically be to wherever this is. I don't remember it. Was it 30? So that puts it on the edge there. So maybe 27. Put it to where there's an inch on each side. Okay. So that would be that style there. It'd be something like that. Well, actually, it can't be, huh? Because if it, that can't go up into the frame rail. And so I can't have my ladders on the top there. They would have to be on the bottom. any support that I have would have to be underneath. See, I guess this is why you do this, so that you can look at this, because if it's there, it just runs right into that. And I don't know how strong this needs to be, you know. That's another issue with this, is like, how strong do you make this? This is like a foot long, or I think it was like 15 inches. But how long is this? Okay, 20 inches. So from here to here is probably about 15 inches. So that's not, if this is the pivot point somewhere here. So can we get away with putting any strength underneath this? Or will it just kind of get in the way of rolling over? How I don't remember how big the tires are. They're probably, if I had to guess, they're probably 8 inches. Yeah, I know. I know this is going to screw up its calculations here, but I know we're just seeing, calm down. Okay, so that's there. So that's what the tires look like, is something like that. So you're not going to be able to have much room to ladder it here. I mean, I guess the other option is to get it to lay inside the frame rail, or just outside the frame rail, but then what I'm going to have to do is put in strengthening posts. Put a support like maybe from here to here, and then the frame will lay in. The ladder frame, it'll be connected more over. Lay in, and that's actually probably how I want to do it anyways, because then what I can do is I can just leave the leaf springs connected to the axle, and it will place it where it should be, so I won't have to like re-square the axle. Like if it's already square and it's connected right now, I just leave it connected, build all of this into it, and then take the leaf springs off. And essentially, at that point, it would just be able to go back to being leaf springs at any time. Maybe install a bump stop, here for the airbags to let rest on, or for the axle to rest on. But the other advantage to that is I could actually get it to lay up a lot higher if it goes up into the frame rail. And I know the tires, I don't know exactly how this is mounted, because I know the tires, I was looking at it, and they are able to go into the frame. So that they're going to lay up, I think, in this area right here, if I remember right. So I'm going to have to look at that too. And I know, like, when they do this on like lowriders, or, on cars, they'll actually notch the frame, which I'm not really looking to do all of that. I don't need it to go that low. If it'll just go low enough that like we don't need any stairs over here, I think that would be good enough. But basically, that's the first design. There is something like that. So let's just leave that there. There's no point in constraining it, because I don't even think I'm going to print this, but it's just good to get it in my head this way. So basically what I would need to do in this situation is have a cross member that goes across, and maybe this could work, and then just have to come down with another support, and then the pivot point up here would have to just be strengthened to that, and then the arm would rock into there. I think that's the best way to do it, because then you don't have this like running into things. The other thing too is that this whole thing could be flipped around, and the pivot point could be back here. I'm not sure that matters where the pivot point is. So the other style is like an A-frame. So let's make that, but it'll be from this way down. So let's actually mute that body and mute that, and then we'll make a new body, I guess, so that it will actually work. So let's rename this body too. We'll rename it to ladder style. And we'll rename this body to A-frame style, like A-arm. I guess that's an A-arm. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we'll put a new thing in here and we'll put this on the XY. So new sketch here. And so for this one, it's gonna have to probably be the same thing to where it's gonna start up here somewhere and come under the axle here somewhere. And but basically what this one's gonna be is it's gonna go over like this. Okay, so we're just gonna crudely draw it in because yeah. There's no point in, we're just gonna get ideas here. So we'll do, it would be something like this, basically. Okay, so something like that, and then the inside, it would be, kind of like a tube or square tube situation. It would be something like that, basically. So let's actually go. Mute that. So I don't know how I'm going to get this delay underneath and tilt on the actual model, but I think we can kind of get the idea. So it's going to be the same thing. There's going to be like a bushing right here. This would be like a pivot point up here, and then, in here you would need, this would either need to be like slanted. It would basically have to go from here to here, right? Or no, from here to here. So it would be, no, this is on top of the axle, right? And then the airbag would kind of sit on a plate like right here, basically. So let's just call that good, because I mean there would be some other cross supports, but for these purposes we would figure that out later, I guess. So let's just close that there, and we'll just pad that to 2 millimeters. Okay, so that's about it there, and let's bring our trailer frame back in, and then we'll come in here and then change this attachment. Yeah, so it would be in like that or something, but then this would angle down, and I'm not sure how to do that in this. I'm not sure how to change the angles. Maybe I could do this. 45 degrees. Does that do anything? Oh, it did it the other way. So how do we do? We have this axis. What does that do? Nothing. Yeah, this seems to do nothing. See, we can change the angle, but I want to change the other angle. So I don't know, and I don't know how to do that. I'm not sure it matters. I think we can get the idea though. Basically that would go down there and it would pivot. The other thing is, if I did it this way, then I would have to mount the airbag inside the frame rail. So I'd have to also come across this way with a mount for the top of the airbag to go onto, which means I would also have to stiffen from here to here probably, and so that that all that weight would be pushing on. That's why they notch the frames really. But if I could probably just put some structure from here to here, maybe. Like maybe from here to here, and then also tie it in from here to here onto the frame, or even just onto the frame, coming out of the frame this way, but then just so that all of this structure would lay up into the frame, because that's basically the issue. And as long as we, stay out of this front area, because the black tank sits in here like this, I think it would be all right. And then basically I could put, an air tank back here somewhere, probably the air compressor wherever, and, plumb it all together, figure out some sort of system for, how much air to put into the thing, and figure out a system to where it would automatically fill itself. So that's the thing though, because like they always leak. So if you what you need is to have an actual air compressor and a system that when it leaks down as you're driving, the air compressor turns on and pumps it back up. So you have it set up to like, let's say like 45 psi. Then when it gets to like 44 psi, it turns the air compressor on and pumps it back up, so that even if you get a leak, it will stay inflated. Because especially with this type of system, there isn't going to be any backup for if you're driving down the road and it deflates. It's like you might be going too low. It might be an issue, and I don't want to create more issues. So it might be a good idea too to engineer some way to, well, it's not that big a deal actually. It's on the tray there. So if like we did have an issue, where we couldn't fix it there, like if an airbag popped or something, we'd just leave the tray there and come back for it. Because we could just unhook it and drive the truck, wherever. So I'm not as worried about that. So basically what I would need to build then would be, it wouldn't be too hard. I would need to decide to go with the A-frame style. Now, here's what I don't understand about this, is all the strength in this is from side to side. There's not very much front, like this way strength, from this way, up and down, I guess. Whereas with the ladder style, there's a lot more strength up and down, which is where your forces are, like I don't think that there's nothing pushing on this from the side. I guess there is when you go around corners. There's some side pressure, right? But I think for the most part, it's bumping up and down the road. It's up and down forces, and maybe what we could do is I could do a ladder style, or, like a square. If I do like a square tube, and maybe then it will be the best of both worlds. Because I could get some square tube for pretty cheap, just weld it all together in like a ladder, style, just cut it up, and it wouldn't be too much money. Or I could just maybe get one piece of like a thick walled square tube and then just weld it together really good. And if I got it thick weld, then I could arc weld it, because I'm not very good at arc welding thin stuff. So but I can arc weld thick stuff pretty well. So if I did that, then that might be even better. Or go borrow my dad's welder or something. But, because with this stuff, it's like with this other stuff I'm welding together, it just needs to more or less hold on. It's not like, moving parts that are structural to the operation of the trailer. With this stuff, it kind of is. It's like if you break a weld, you might have issues, and it's got to be safe. So anything I do here needs to be 100%. Needs to be perfect. And like what I would do is I would weld it and then grind the weld down and make sure that it actually penetrated through, and make sure it was tough. And if I do that ladder style, even if like I do a box style where it's a ladder where it goes in both directions, I think I'd be all right. If it went side to side like an A-frame and up and down like a ladder, that'd probably be the best way to go. And if I go inside of these frame rails, then we could even put double supports on it. We could overbuild it. Like we could on the front here, rather than just having one pipe, or one tube, one bushing, we could put a double bushing. And maybe that's the way to do it. Do an A-frame and a ladder style suspension in here and just build like a double, bushing. So if we go back to our ladder style here, mute that and bring this one back. Okay, so it's like that, right? So let's now take this pad and let's make it 10 inches wide instead. Let's mute everything else, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to add another one here. And we want it on the XY. Okay. So now, we have our deal here. So I'm just going to like kind of crudely do this, but we have what we'd have is our outside here, and then basically it would be something like this. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try. Okay, so close that, and then where did that one go? Went in here, but it's supposed to be let's try that again. Before I draw it all. Okay, it went in the right spot. I put it in the wrong body. I'm not used to working with all these bodies. Everything I've drawn up until now has not been like this. Actually, I think I was doing it wrong anyways. Let's just do one. So we'll just do this, okay? So close that, and then let's pocket that out. Okay, and so, but we need it to be like something like that, 50 millimeters. Okay, so you get the idea. It's going to be like that, right? Then we would do another one right here. You want, so it'd be on the XY. Okay, we just do like another one, like obviously I would just get the square tube and just weld it all together like this. But for how we have to draw it on here, this is what we would do. And I'm just, just padding it all the way out. So, and all these would be an inch or whatever, right? So, but then basically up here, you would have another circle, that would be like, we could add that in. We could do another sketch here, but this time we're going to put it on this one. Okay, so I don't know if it's going to let me do this or not based on how this program's acting today, but there would be a circle up here, this would be welded to that. Okay, let's just imagine that that's the case. And basically we need to pad that out at, yeah, see this, now we're doing this stuff again where it won't. Can you only get one pad per body? Like, is that the issue? Because we have this body here, and it just won't. It'll let me pocket. It'll let me do a bunch of pockets, but only one pad. Like maybe that's the issue, is that I have to make another body every time. And then the other question is if I like, if I put all of this stuff, like if I click on this one, if I shift click all of these, and then I go to make like a 3D part, I wonder if it will open and all of this stuff will be in it, or if it'll just be one part. I'm going to see. So, because I'm just curious now. Because I've never done a multiple pad situation. Now I gotta find it and figure out where it actually is. Yeah, I don't know where it put it. I'm in the Freecad folder, but I must have changed the folder. Anyways, I'll figure that out later. Okay, so if we make a new body, then we'll make a whole another body, and then another sketch, and we'll put it on the YZ. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm just gonna get my. So basically, it'll be like this. We'll have this here. You know, it'll be something like that. We'll close that. We'll pad that to 10. Okay. Then we need to move it. And I don't remember, what was this, 27? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there it is. So it would be like that. Okay, but it would be inside this frame rail. So then what we would do is we would take this, or we would add another sketch. Let's mute this trailer frame here. So, because then what we're going to do is we're going to add another sketch on the XY. Wait, yeah, XY. And so the way that this would look is we would just delete, or we wouldn't have this material here. Right? So it would be something like more like this. To where this would be cut out, and then we would have supports going down into this. So we're going to pocket that. No, why won't it let me do that? Did it let me do 5? I don't know if this actually worked or not, but see if it will do it. Nope. So it won't let me do this, but you can imagine that the middle of this is missing. And then the supports that come down would take up that space. So this would be like an overbuilt hinge, you know. And I don't know if it needs to be this strong or not. This might just be all overkill. Like we might just need to cut it back down to the regular ladder, or you know. But what I see is if we just did it on the edge here and we did it like this, then this would have a tendency to want to twist. You know, maybe or maybe not. Maybe the strength of this axle in between the two would kind of strengthen it up. I don't know. Or we could put another axle between here and the other one that's over here. But I'm kind of thinking that this would probably be the strongest design, and also the airbag, you know, it's pretty wide. It's like 4, 5 or 6 inches wide. So if we made this like this, but 6 inches wide, and then like this ladder box style, I feel like it would be plenty strong, you know. Oh, and actually, this doesn't even go here. It goes up here. So I was even putting this in the wrong spot. But this pivot point would be up here. The airbag is right here on this face and goes up to the frame up here somehow or another. So anyways, hopefully you got all that. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead, but thanks for watching.